Hello everyone, this is a Greyshot 117 here, bringing you another COH2 replay. If you want to submit yours and have me take a look at it, maybe. I have a lot of replays, so in case you're like, Greyshot, you need to look at my replay. I have probably 2 replays, maybe 3 come in per day. So I only do 3 per week. So just to give a heads up on why I may miss it. In any case, check out my Gmail or Facebook, and I will try to take a look at it. We have NC Buffel, so Buffel, versing Inherently Better. All right. Double check their ranks. Yep, OKW player has key advantage. It's a 1v1 at Smolsky winner. It's an okay map. My big issue with it is that the terrain, it's very, in my opinion, kind of easy to kind of choke this area out. Although, again, you could say, oh, Greyshot, they can cross the ice. Yeah, and then fall. You know how a lot of, during the Finnish-Soviet War, you want to know how a lot of Soviets died? Literally walking on ice. If you don't, look at Finland, there's a lot of, lakes and streams and stuff like that, and large rivers. There's the chance that during the winter, the Soviets crossed a lot of those areas. The Finnish knew the terrain and used it to their advantage. It wasn't all just ski troops, though they played a huge part. Now, on the other hand, we have the person who submitted this. I should probably say their name because, again, that would be nice. Skip this part. Inherently Better. Thank you for submitting this in. And I also want to thank my Patreon supporters like A, Sean, Tim, Carter, Nick, Sojones, Joey, and who else am I missing? Nick? No. Joey got, I think that's everybody. I'm going to say it's everyone. But in any case, thank you guys so much for your awesome support. You all rock. I'm seeing a lot of Sturmpioniers. And judging by the doctrine, first from doctrine, if you don't know, Sturmpioniers can upgrade to flamethrowers. Yeah, so they can get flamethrowers. And then we got Inherently Better, which is going more vehicle route. This one I would say is more I would say infantry focus. The reason I say that is because a lot of these abilities, the Hetzer, good against, again, infantry. Flame Barrage, infantry and fortifications. Assault packages, infantry. The Oboe Blitz Truck, weird little thing. I don't care for it as much, but again, designed for supporting infantry. Rocket Barrage. If you actually hit by that damn thing, we'll see. But typically, it's meant for fortifications, not really vehicles unless they're not moving, which again, kind of astounding. Also, oh my God, more Sturmpioniers. All right, nice job getting the building. Use that heavy cover and surround them and take them out. So very nice push on that end. What do we got over here? Nothing yet. I was assuming he would probably have tried to build a medical or something, because right now he's doing pretty damn well on fuel. He rushed for fuel, gathered territory to connect the points, because this map is very, very annoying for capturing territory to make sure it connects like this point. But no, he managed to do that, and now he's getting 33 fuel per turn, where Inherently Better is getting 10. So that's a major advantage. Problem is, the penal troops, while in decent cover and firing long range, can typically snipe Sturmpioneers. But again, if the Sturmpioneers can get up there, there we go. I was gonna say if they get enough in terms of munitions, they can start upgrading the flamethrowers and start pushing these guys back. Though again, flamethrowers are short, medium range. I would say yeah, definitely shorter. Maybe barely medium range they can kind of hit, but it's a very short range weapon. So Sturmpioneer's already short range, so that's not really going to change their effectiveness. Kind of like what I'm trying to think of the name. Paratroopers, where they have just their medium range weapons. The LMGs can make them go really damn far with their shots, and or the what I'm trying to think of the other thing. Rangers, which go from kind of the opposite, where more like medium range warfare to a close range with Thompsons. Anyway, it looks like they're still capturing some territory. Looks like he's getting the men pretty much back up and running. Not a bad idea. Again, he could probably have produced a lot more, but again, it's better to have them operational. And oh, look, he got medical here. So a lot in 1v1s, you typically don't want to have a forward base because it's prone to being assaulted. That being said, with what he has here, it's not a doctrine ability he has to worry about. It's more like the Katusha rocket artillery, a mortar fire. So he has to worry about that. Sturmpioneer's capturing the munitions, which is also terrifying, the fact that if he gets it. Now, the ally player did grab the fuel, so things are a little bit more even. Still, the Axis player has a small advantage, but we'll see how long that lasts. Sturmpioneer's using that, well, okay, they're using that cover, but as you can see, he's not going to win that because these guys are in the better cover. So very nice job on his part. In any case, what do we have as well? We have Sturmpioniers rolling up on the left-hand side, along with additional ones with the flamethrower unit. Inherently better, he's going a lot of penal troops. Okay, and let's see. We have a support weapon Campania, so it looks like he's focusing really on infantry rather than rushing for armor. And I think this is a good move, because if you can get mortars and MGs up, AT guns eventually, but if you can get at least that equipment up and maybe equip these guys with PTRS rifles, you should be fine for the most part. I think he's going to make it. Again, they suck long range. And now you're going to retreat. Okay, interesting. You're actually retreating pretty early. They're not... I guess as soon as they lose a squad, you're like, okay, they're down in effectiveness. We do have a Panzerschreck group, so it looks like he's also ready to counter armor as well. So he can't be, easily taken out. Penal troops, one thing I'll say is nice job getting in the heavy cover and kind of using that advantage against Sturmpioneers. Again, if you can get in that good cover, you can kind of just open fire. You should be relatively fine. But again, it just depends on the person and how they fight. Now, he is being flanked right now by Sturmpioneers. Looks like he's going to retreat. Very nice job. Again, kind of flank that unit, kind of, have one, show like, oh, he's not even close to me, and then right up behind him with the Sturmpioneers with good close range. Panzerschreck, while good, and again, I guess technically is a freaking rocket launcher, so should blow up the ice. The ice is still somehow there. All right, sure. MG rolling on up, I think. Well, okay, no, there we go. So like, why I said I think is because of the fact, like, okay, if you send MG, usually want support. The engineer squad, probably not going to be that effective, but at least it'll be something. Another Sturmpioneer. Oh, my God. This guy's going nothing but Sturmpioneers. Well, I mean, okay, on one hand, that's a lot of close quarters anti-infantry combat with some Panzerschrecks for anti-armor. The problem is it's going to be range. Range is going to be the key in this battle. And the reason I say that is because if the Sturmpioneers can continue to use like these obstacles and everything to clear their way, they're going to keep doing very well. And as you can see, they're doing that. But once the battle progresses and the cover starts being removed and buildings destroyed, and you lose a lot of that kind of surprise factor. Then we'll start seeing how things start playing out. Especially as the Soviets kind of start gaining and holding ground a lot better. Right now, these guys, the one thing I'll say about inherently better is he's not doing a great job at holding ground. While Buffalo is doing a great job at expanding, taking a lot of key territory, and holding key sections of it to then further progress. Sure, he didn't hold the fuel, but he did manage to eventually then recap all the left territory and slowly push up. And this guy's now pinned by his fuel. So even though they have the fuel, he's still beating him almost double in fuel and triple in munitions, which is kind of a big thing. And that's not even him grabbing the territory yet. He's doing that right now. And actually holding that territory, we can see that red is not getting any of his munitions. So it's just being cut off because, well, he himself got cut off. I think it's, yeah, this point right here is currently cutting it off and not allowing it to be connected. That's pretty sad. Penal troops are now trying to group up versus the Sturmpioneers. This could work, and it looks like they're trying to concentrate fire, and for the once, they may be able to kill a squad. Nope, managed to escape. Good job on his part. And looks like, yeah, he managed to get out of there. The other Sturmpioneer squad managed to capture that territory. Once again, cutting off those resources. And now the allied player, though having a decent amount of manpower stored up, is definitely a disadvantage. We have a support gun being deployed, and that's definitely going to help in terms of artillery. If the Soviet player starts getting MGs, the support gun can counteract that, especially in large blobs. You could use incendiary munitions, which essentially is calling down hellfire on your enemy and, allowing that to occur. I'm not saying that that's good and or bad for the long run. It's just right now, as long as he has that ability and he can keep pushing forward, he should be pretty fine against a lot of what the Soviet has. Now, again, one concern I have right now is the fact that all of these guys, okay, the Soviet player is kind of reinforcing, which is good. He did put down the Panzer headquarters, which once again is pretty damn quick at 10 minutes. He probably will have his own tank in next 2, so that'll be a Panzer IV at 12 minutes. That would be Very surprising indeed. Now, if I was him, I know this may sound weird, but I would start placing mines. You could say, well, Greyshot, he has Sturmpioniers. Why would you do that? Yeah, but they're all equipped. Each and every one of them has their own, how do I say this? They have specials with them. The Panzerschreck or the Flamethrower. So none of them have Minesweepers. It's the perfect catch-22. He has engineer squads designed for it, but none of them are capable of it. That's what I would recommend anyway, for him trying to do. It looks like he is tag teaming them with their own Panzerschreck or Flamethrower group. I do find it weird that he has 3 with Panzerschreck and 2 with Flamethrower. I figure with more infantry focus, he wants to go more Flamethrower. Meanwhile, the penal troops are being equipped with PTRS rifles, and that's fine. They'll definitely help in, I guess, versus armor. I wouldn't say it's amazing versus infantry, because, again, they're anti-tank rifles. But, hey, you can throw satchels now on vehicles, so when Buffalo does eventually get his vehicle, he's going to have issue. Now, with the MGs and everything that is currently being deployed, the Soviet player is at least bringing up more support. He only has 1 support gun, and he's getting another Sturmpioneer squad. I feel like with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, oh god, 6 Sturmpioneers, that he would be like, you know what, I'm good. And instead of using that 300, it's 300, I believe, I want to say it is, yes, 300, you could use some of that on Sport Gun. Which, by the way, I realized how cheap it is compared to the goddamn howitzer. But still, if you have a support gun at least providing fire support, that's going to help. And that could help break up, you know, the MGs and maybe burn them. I'm just pointing that out. Again, maybe we call some fire down. You know where he is. Maybe fire. Now, with these guys firing on the Sturmpioneer squad and the MG as well, that thing is going to be pushed back. Right-hand side, we have a random Sturmpioneer squad going in. The Soviet player, while has a lot of support, doesn't have a ton of frontline infantry, but he doesn't need it. As long as he can hold the said territory, he should be relatively fine. Looks like they managed to capture the backhand territory, and he's pushing far left, which could be a big issue if he wants to move. Because right now, a lot of his stuff is in mid. So I guess Buffalo's like, all right, mid is hard to get a grasp of right now. Let me hit the flanks and kind of force him to move out of his comfort zone. So, we'll see. Again, I'm pretty confident that the Soviet player will eventually be able to push them back, but again, we'll just have to see. We'll just have to see. Sturmpioneers, speaking of pushing them back, literally pushing the Soviets back all the way to their base, which is quite hilarious, if I had to say so. This is also now cut off, which sucks for, well, that resource he's trying to get. Oh, was it? At least it's something small. Oh, wait, it was the fuel. Satchel only getting 2 men. That could have been way worse. MG's barely out of range, otherwise they would have opened fire, and I think the terrain kind of obstructed that. There we go, the MG's now opening fire. Meanwhile, they capture the right-hand side, so at least they have that. With all the Panzerschrecks, once again, I feel like he should have honestly gotten more flamethrowers so he could overwhelm the buildings and quickly take them out. Think of like 4 squads of flamethrowers, or like 3 coming in from 3 different directions. The MGs wouldn't be able to handle that, and they would slowly be burned to death. But, you know. I mean, I'm only Greyshot 117, who's done hundreds, if not thousands, of replays. What would I know? Which also, by the way, I love how people are like, Greyshot, you're too harsh on people. First off, no. If you want to see harsh, go look up other CH2 commentators, and yeah, they may be a slightly harsher than me. I try to be like kind of honest with what I say, because I don't want to be like complete BS. Although sometimes I say is BS, and I'll be freely to admit that I'm wrong quite a few times. But what I will say is this. The fact that, again, the enemy currently entrenched in a city, and you don't have an ability that would unentrench them very quickly, and instead are using and getting weapons for something that is not even likely to appear yet, is kind of astonishing. And the reason I also say that is you know that you've been holding down the fuel for a majority of the time. So you yourself have most of the fuel. It's like... What's another good example of this? Okay, it's like a drug cartel having a monopoly over something, over a town, and a competitor comes in, but they control the shipping. I've been watching a lot of Ozarks, in case you're wondering. They control a lot of the shipping into it, but they think the other guy's like, oh my god, they have all these, they're getting so much money, they have everything. It's like, how would they themselves, if they're just starting in this small town, which you own pretty much all those resources, supply chain, distribution, everything, would have this huge resource influx and be a threat to you? They are a threat in the long term if you allow them to build up, but in the short term, they suck. Once again, Ozarks on Netflix. Very good show. Very dark, but very good show. Penal troops taking a note from Buffalo and decide to just, while the frontline troops are fighting, go around and try to capture what he can. Panther being deployed, but we have an AT gun that's on the right, so he's going to have an issue with that. And Panther can now just open fire. He will get an MG42, which will help. But right now, I want to question this move. I think a Panzer IV would have been better, honestly. Because, again, he's versing more vehicles. I mean, it's more infantry, not vehicles. We have the Panther opening fire. Nice shot. Penal troops moving on in. Tank is like, yeah, those PTRS rifles not doing that great. And you can say, great, well, Greyshot, the Panzer IV are taking more. Yeah, but they would have probably done more against the Penals and the infantry in the building and the mortars. Also, hold on, do you have a... Okay, hold on, you're making the... You're gonna get... The Soviet player is gonna get heavy armor, but hold on. Oh, boy, yeah, you want to run from that? I will say that neither side has really lost a unit yet, so I'll give them that. But again, I feel like he needs more infantry killing power, not armor killing power. And the Panther is, well, known for killing armor, not infantry. I also like this goddamn, like, piece of wood that just lodged itself, I think, into the barrel. So, that's pretty funny. Anyway, moving on. We have the Sturmpioniers once again pushing left. On the right-hand side, we have another random penal squad just moving in. Now we have a Katusha, which is actually kind of interesting because we see the OKW player planning for this big armor war, and the Soviet player's like, well, no, I'm not going to do that. That's stupid. It's like, what's another great example of just a never thought? Oh, the invasion of Malta. Right now I have an Italian series civilization, but the Allies swore that Malta would be invaded by the Axis while the Italians technically had a decent control over the Mediterranean. They honestly thought an invasion was coming, especially after Crete. Because again, it's like, well, if Crete's being invaded and Germans took all that, why haven't they invaded the island of Malta? And you can say, well, Greyshot, why was Malta so important? Well, it was kind of this like middle point in Axis-controlled territory that the Allies could like get to in a pinch and resupply and also provide bombing runs into Germany. That being said, not Germany, sorry, Italy. The Italians and Germans were like bombing the heck out of it, and they did the most bombing runs in the war against that one tiny island. But the thing was, the island withstood, still did relatively fine, and led multiple assaults into Italy. So, once again, just like one of those, oh, well, we should have really took care of that, and the Allies were like dumbfounded. On the flip side, you gotta say the Germans were dumbfounded when the Allies didn't try to push into Germany, but the French were like, well, stay on the defensive. And it's like, wow, all right, that's cool. You know that 90% of the German army and air force are on the opposite side of their country, right? Anyway, while the Panther was busy killing that MG, penal troops came around and be like, I'm going to satchel you, and you're going to like it. And the Panther is now like, yeah, I'm going to pull back before things get even more hairy. Sturmpioneers rolling in, but looks like they're very close to dying. From the mortar crews, support teams, mind you. Not even the mortar itself, just support teams. Katusha on standby. And I get why he probably did that, maybe counteract the support gun or whatnot. We have another Sturmpioneer squad coming out. Oh boy. Once again, I feel like maybe just a few too many Sturms. I get you want to have a very powerful unit, and you believe the Sturmpioneers are a very powerful unit, but you need more than one unit. You need more than one thing to actually win the game. Because when somebody relies on one thing for too long, it can't go well. I mean, that's why, example on my channel, people are like, well, Greyshot, why don't you only do Company of Heroes? because I don't want B8, known as the guy that only does COH2, and B, if COH2, and when COH2 eventually starts fading in popularity, right now it's still doing very well on my channel, and thank you for all those who watch it. I don't want to put all my eggs in one basket, which is why I'm working on 2 new shows, and I will be more than happy to say that. Plus, my brother and I are kicking off quite a few different things around online, so hopefully you can see that in the coming days and or weeks, depending on when I can get everything together. But that's why I took a vacation in February, so I can make sure I got that stuff done. Anyway, Sturmpionier squad trying to hold out. Support gun finally getting some good shots in. Okay, it's vet 1. Oh, well, no, it only has 5 kills. Never mind. Sturmpionier squad barely holding. Man, that MG's just hitting him. You know what'd be great? That flamethrower squad coming in on this flank while maybe you have another squad over here fighting. And then maybe, actually, no, you have the... Oh, you're close. Concussion grenade would be great because you could, you know, freeze that MG and then get close with the flamethrower. Maybe that's your plan. I don't know. It does also suck because right now the OKW can't place any fuel or munition points. Okay, maybe he's actually going in for the flank. We'll see. Panther moving in for the flank, but once again, fighting troops designed to kill armor. Flamethrower group trying to come in, but once again... Oh, there we go. Just calling a rocket barrage, that's all you need. Holy God, that did a lot of work. Speaking of doing a lot of work, that Panther surely did not. Man, oh man, Greyshot. You know what? I think you're totally wrong, Greyshot. I feel like the Panther was a great choice versing all that infantry. He'll show... Wait, is it dead? Oh. Well, maybe not. Meanwhile, more teams are still doing decent. I like how this is vet 1 and only has 1 kill. They both only have 1 kill. My God. Alright, cool. Whatever. Sturmpionier squad's moving on in, trying to kill the mortar team. And they should be able to at least kill 1. Oh, there we go. The second one also retreating. So that was a pretty good trade. At least he was able to knock out a squad before having to retreat. He'll probably reman and just head back to base. But hey, it's not vet 1 anymore. So that's good. So right now, what's the strategy on your part? Now, I'm assuming you probably were saving up for the KV-2 tank. Not a bad idea overall, because that thing is a long-range howitzer gun that could pretty much effectively counter a lot of the Sturmpioneers. They could... the Sturmpioneers are 4-man squads, and if you could... Did I just hear a flamethrower being used? Okay, maybe not. If you could... use it to hold back the squads of infantry, that's a good counter, because right now he doesn't have... Okay, he's getting another Panther. Once again, bad idea, especially with the fuel. He should obviously get the mechanized, and then probably use the resources to save for a King. I feel like the King Tiger in this scenario would be the best thing. Right now, he is getting a KV-8. Hold on, let me pull up in here better. And a KV-8 is very effective in versing infantry. Also, a cheaper, but also good alternative if you want to get the KV-2. Rocket Barrage coming in once again to just murderize that MG. God, they can't keep MGs in that building. I mean, to be fair, he has a ton of munitions saved up, so these Rocket Barrages are just not costing him all that much. He does need to start making sure he saves and or get more munitions, because otherwise... Even with his 40-plus munitions per turn, it'll take some time before he can call in those strikes over and over and over again. Looks like, once again, 1 support gun. Just helping out with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 goddamn Sturmpioneers. It's like, God, Jesus, oh man. It's like, how many squads do you need? Anyway, Penal Squadron... on standby. Squad on standby, capturing the Axis fuel, since he's like, you know what? If I can't have my fuel, you can't have yours. That's gonna be how it is. Now, nice job with the Sturmpioneers, kind of keep their distance, because he doesn't want to most likely rush into a penal. Yep, penal charge. He's gonna move out of the way. Should be relatively fine. Yep, dodges it pretty damn well. And should capture the point. Meanwhile, the KV-8 moving in, and while that's very effective against infantry, the Panther's going to have 2 words about it. Also, with the Panzerschreck equipped in troops, it should be interesting. Sturmpionier is going to try to hold against the KV, having some small issues like third-degree burns, and oh my god, just getting obliterated. He just got melted. Oh, the Sturmpioneers are trying to hold off valiantly, but the flame unit is just burning everything alive. Panther, a little late to the party, and why? How do I know he's late to the party? Because the Sturmpioneers are well done. That's how late. That being said, Panther might be able to get a kill, but the question is, will the AT gun come in to help the KV? And or the penal troops? Oh, this could be very bad. Oh my god. If he, well, nope. They're right there, so that could have been very bad if he pushed in. Most likely the anti-vehicle satchel would have killed it, though he could have very easily just sacrificed himself to kill these two units. And that would have thrown out Inherent Better's ability. Once again, it's a Panther versus penal troops. And your satchel is going to be thrown because he's not paying attention. And hold on. Man, it's like a satchel is a really good ability to use against armor. Huh. That being said, it's not like that Soviets didn't take some casualties from that attack. Looks like he is down, but they're about even still. So I'll give him that. And again, with these penal troops, he is vetting them up pretty damn well. Sturmpioneers, he has multiple vet 2-1s, so he's also getting them vetted up, but I've been noticing that he's lost a couple squads. While the penal troops have been pretty consistent, he hasn't gotten like a lot of troops. PTR's rifle's not just opening fire. This would be a good opportunity to move back behind your goddamn your Panzer headquarters. So again, the flak gun on there just opens fire and suppresses them. Support gun on standby. Not really any targets. Also, Katusha, I feel like you have a target. Up, you are prepping for fire. You are firing. Up, looks like he missed target. Second volley has missed target. Will third volley hit? Third volley has missed target. Will fourth volley hit? Fourth volley has hit target, but only gotten 1 kill. Not great. Not great. But, again, it's not... At least he did something. I'll give it that. You know, he did something. But, you know. We'll see how that goes. Sturmpioneers on standby, just grabbing some territory. Let's see. I'm looking at overall resources, and yeah, with that coming in, oh, he's probably needs to reconnect that fuel. But right now, the Axis definitely has key advantage. Though Inherently Better, being so down, has a decent amount of manpower stored up. And, kind of important, he's still in the fight. He's still doing a pretty damn good job for where he's been at through this game. Because he's always been the underdog. And with Buffel being the higher-ranked player, he should have more time and experience. Which is also something I should probably mention. Let me... just to clear up something, because in a recent game, someone said, and again, because he's like, what, level 1? Yeah, okay, vet 1 with 59. Let's look at his profile real quick, because I do want to highlight this. Oh, God, the anime. Well, alright, he likes his anime, but he has close to 600 hours in this game. 600 hours. Alright, just want to point that out. This is well for My Hero Academia as well. You know, need to point that out. I don't know the other ones. I don't know any of those girls. Don't ask me. Seriously. But now let's look at Buffo while the fight... Again, the fighting's died down, in case you're wondering. Alright, Buffel. Okay, he's a COH2 hardcore player. He has another 1,000 hours on top, pretty much, on top of the other guy has. But that's pretty much the only thing he plays. Well, Inherently Better... Hold on, I'm kind of... Hopefully you have played... Oh, great, back to anime boobs. Gotham City Imposters. Interesting game to be playing. A wallpaper engine. So, I'm assuming this is what he created. And, yeah. Wait. Okay. But yeah, it's like, if a person is... Not every single player is going to dedicate their entire life to a game. I can say I have no... part of my life is gone, and it is gone to this game with, I think, like 2,500 hours. But a lot of them have been doing this, COH2 replays. So the fact that a person with 560 hours is holding themselves off against a person with 1,560 hours. Again, kind of shows you, A, rank doesn't matter in this game, and B, it just depends on strategy. That's it. And so far, the inherent better strategy of just kind of holding out, going for what's needed, and just kind of keep focusing on luring in the Buffalo character into fighting has so far been working. Also, Buffalo's own, I don't want to say stupidity, but the fact that he now has 2 Panthers, and I don't mind if a person has 2 Panthers, but it's like, okay, first off, mechanized headquarters would be great. Secondly, you're versing a lot of infantry, so maybe King Tiger. I know King Tiger in a 1v1 may not be like the best thing, and I feel like people are like, because it's harder to support it with only 1 player, but I don't know. It's still a goddamn heavy tank, so it's still pretty damn effective. MG getting in a position, most likely trying to hold back the Sturmpioniers from capturing more territory. KV-8's like, hello world, how's it going? I need to burn you just a little bit. Again, Panther's on standby, but for some reason not moving up, which is kind of a shame. Oh, there we go. Slow reaction time once again. Hello, what's this? We have another Panzerschreck squad. Panther hanging from the side. Should be easily able to penetrate. Yeah, you want to retreat, man. Getting a nice shot on there. Panther now rolling on up. Second one's also moving up. S285 now coming in to help out the KV. And also we have the guys moving in there with satchels. I'm assuming a satchel. Yep, there it goes. And Panther's going to take some heavy. Yep. Down to 1/3 of his health. Now the S285 could go ahead and snipe that Panther, which, by the way, nothing. I just want to note, these guys in cover have done that much damage to it. No one else has fired. The S285 has not fired a shot. The AT gun, not fired a shot. That's all from the PTRS rifles. That much damage. Half its health gone. That's why I highly recommend, if you're versing these suckers, you either get something that's designed to shoot and kill infantry. The Panther will not one-shot infantry. The Stuka will. A goddamn support gun will. A freaking King Tiger, a Panzer IV will. Of course, a Sturm Tiger will. Not a Panther. I don't know what you were planning on hitting, but goddamn, that was something. Oh, you killed the AT gun. Well, at least that's out of the way. KV-8 managed to pull back, although there's a little bit of water there, so they can't no longer traverse this small section of the ice. But as you can see, there's a large section. Also, you could be using the Stuka to like break up the ice, and you say, "Well, Greyshot, why would he do that?" If he okay, so hypothetically speaking, if he breaks up the ice here, the S285 then has to retreat this way. You lure him into a trap. You send the Panthers this way, with nowhere to go. He's forced into engagement. You have trapped him. Again, it's small stuff like that where you take advantage of an enemy in their terrain. Oh God, what was it? I was reading up on who was the guy who did it? Shoot. Oh, goddamn Oda of the Samurai Extra History. Pretty much he knew the terrain. He used said terrain to his full advantage, and with a force of 2,500 men, he split up that said 2,500 men against 25,000 men, and was able to effectively neutralize that entire army with 1/10 of the size of said army. Did he have a little bit of luck on his side? Yes. But dear Lord, that's what he needed. And this is also not what you need, because friendly infantry that can just walk away will simply walk away. The support, like, this stuff is what you need to hit. Like, kind of the more, like, these buildings where it's like, oh, nice idea with the MG, kind of help guard these points. I do think you should probably go send some men over there, but hey, if you want to blow up and kind of go for 1 point, whatever. But yeah, it's like those things where it's just like, you want to hit something that, like, has a harder time retreating. You have a Katusha coming in, most likely trying to hit the Panzer headquarters, maybe? I could see that working. Again, you could slowly hurt it. The problem is he has, again, about 7 Sturmpioneer squads, so we could easily just walk over there with 3 squads, like, insta-heal it and just walk away. That said, Inherent Better does have a lot of excess manpower as disposal, which could be good. But when you see a buffalo's near pop cap. And if I was him, I would get myself a mechanized buildings to heal the Panthers, because my lord, just a little extra support, even with all the Sturmpioneers, would probably be helpful. MG, yep, suppress the men. They don't have enough for a concussion grenade, so yeah, they're gonna be pushed back. Satchel going out. He should retreat. I don't know why he didn't retreat that one man, but he should have, because it's not like the guy with the Panzerschreck. Although a rocket launcher, and you would figure shooting into the building would cause a massive explosion if I've seen any movie, he's not going to retreat that, is he? Oh, but alas, it did not, and yeah, it's just not going to work. So right now we're at kind of a bit of a lull. It's a lot of, like, random fighting on the outskirts. Getting another Sturmpioneer squad, because he's like, man, oh man, this is going to work whether it kills me. And I have a feeling it is going to kill him. Again, Panther rolling on in, but he's versing a penal squad. It's not in cover, which is definitely what the other thing had toward his advantage. But once again, it just was able to instantly hold off the Panther. And that's what I'm kind of seeing. It's just a super effective move. That's like, you can't do anything against it. So you need Sturmpioneers, and you have plenty of Sturmpioneers. Once again, I question how many Panzerschrecks you've given instead of flamethrowers, but hey, you need to actually send frontline infantry with the Panther, and then you could actually push, because the Panther can deal with the MG, the Sturmpioneers can deal with the goddamn penal troops, and yes, you got yourself a success to capture that point, or a key to capture that point, I should say. Now, Panther did manage to take over mid, so good for him. Glad that was able to work out. But again, we'll see how things go. Now let's see. Panther's being healed. No mechanized building to speak of, and without that, he can't deploy a king. Alright. And I'm also questioning his strategy, because with having all the same unit, I don't know. To me, having like other units, I know people would say, well, Greyshot, I don't need this unit. It's like, yeah, but every single unit covers their strengths and weaknesses. Like, the mortar is good for taking out like longer range stuff and can KO stuff. It helps cover the MGs, which are guarding territory, and the ET gun and whatnot. And again, that may have not be that being a jack of all trades is not, again, a master of none. But when you're only a master of Sturmpioneers, the enemy can catch on quick. And I feel like that's why he might be having more and more problems capturing territories, because the better is adapting to it, figuring out what he's fighting, and then is slowly... Oh, another one, really? Oh my god, the flying satchel. That's a damn good arm. I'm sure the Panther could stay here, but if he sends another penal squad, he's probably screwed. I'm assuming he's either saving up for a KV-2, which, no, he doesn't have enough. I don't know what he could be. I would probably get another squad of infantry, so if I was better, I would kind of get another penal group going. Hold on. Because, wow, damn it, can I please see that? Thank you. It's, what, 300? Yes, we can easily get another squad with everything else healed up. KV, I would say his armor is kind of held back. At least Buffalo is using his armor to some extent and pushing up in territory. We do have again, PTRS equipped penal squads moving in on a Panther that can't move. If they do enough direct fire and they throw a satchel, I think that Panther may be screwed. Hold on, we'll see. It's definitely gonna be screwed right now. Yeah, one more shot and it's dead. But it looks like it's gonna. Oh no! Is he really just gonna walk on up and throw another satchel charge on that? Oh my god, are you serious? I love how he's also capturing the territory too. I love that one. He's like a goddamn like frisbee. He's like throwing it under, just trying to nail it. And lo and behold, penal troops were literally able to walk on up and be like, "Hello world," and just take the point. And by just blowing up the Panther with 3 satchels. That's what I mean. Like, come on, dude. Instead of healing that tank, you should have probably had your Sturmpioneers just focus fire on the penal troops to make sure they couldn't get close. But now, we have the KV moving on in, so it doesn't matter how many Sturmpioneers he has. they're going to die from the burning sensation of the, I don't know, flamethrower. Which, by the way, Elon Musk now sells flamethrowers. That's both awesome and terrifying at the same time. To be fair, it's less than a 10-foot flame. But I can definitely see some jackass trying to still rob a bank or something with an Elon Musk-born company flamethrower. It's, again, the news. Once again, totally impractical. And once again, you are essentially, if whatever you use it on, just note you are literally holding an explosive in your hand. Because it is a tank full of a chemical that literally, when it comes out the front, it catches fire. By the way, I saw the parts used to making it. Literally, the parts itself cost like $200, I think. And literally, it's just assembly, like putting a toy gun in a flamethrower or blowtorch kit kind of together. SU-85 coming in. Okay, I'll say that. Good job on the Panther for at least knocking out the KV-8 that's been annoying you guys. It's not bad in that regard, but that has allowed for the monster to appear. It's like the KV-8 evolved into the KV-2. Even though technically by its name you figure the KV-8 would become a later adaptation than the KV-2. But no, the KV-2 is very effective against armor and infantry alike, especially if you place it in mid, which has been his whole point. It's been the point at which he's tried to lock it down and do as much damage as possible. Also, if there's PTR, oh my god, they're rushing in. If he can throw 2 satchels on that Panther, it's screwed. If he can get around this Panther and get behind it, because right now it would be kind of forced. Oh boy. Come on. Do it. Do it. Up. Well, I find it so weird. Like, I definitely see, like, him trying to do one, but not the other. Alright, so it looks like he wasn't able to throw a satchel. Either that, oh my god. That was a frisbee throw of a satchel. My, that was so far away. But he got it. And the SU-85 is like, mine. And the Panthers just trying to escape. Unfortunately, it looks like he will not be able to. KV now holding mid as well. So very nice. Already gotten 3 kills. Again, they just need 1 shot there. Oh, there it goes. SU-85 was able to get a nice little snipe shot on it. Again, using the penal squads as pretty much sight lines to snipe it. So, very nice shot indeed. Now then, what do we have left? Let's see. We have the KV in mid, which has now become, again, immobile. Is now become essentially an artillery piece, which is good and bad. So, again, just kind of go over the bonuses. Increase range and rate of fire, but it's immobile. I also think it kind of stops vision, right? Increases reload speed, use range after effect. Toggle on off, makes him unit mobile and loses sight. Okay. But yeah, essentially it's become just a howitzer gun. It doesn't have a great range to speak of itself, but you equip that with penal troops or something along those lines, kind of act as its eyes, and then it's like, okay, I just have to hit that target. Fires and blows it up to Kingdom Come. Speaking of blowing things up. Okay, that was not the best hit. Come on, KV. Also not the best hit. KV, don't disappoint me. That was a better hit. It's becoming mobile. I think it can't. There we go. Hit 1 shot and they still retreat. They have enough Panzer forces, but the thing about the Sturmpionier compared to the Panzergrenadier, because I know a lot of people are like, the Sturmpionier, like, they'll try to compare the two, and I get it, they're very good close range, and they both have Panzerschrecks, but the Panzergrenadiers typically have more Panzerschrecks, so that makes them really effective against infantry, not infantry, sorry, armor, whereas the Sturmpioneer squad, it's fine against armor, but it's really more support because it only has 1. Now again, you can go back to the Volk squad that had Panzerschrecks at one point before they patched and removed it. But then you also again have to consider the fact that they were cheaper as well. The Volk squads were natively cheaper. And the cold package is kind of just like a bonus for it. Now let's see, what are you doing? Are you becoming mobile or immobile? Come on, make up your mind. Okay, you're mobile. Get the fuck out of there, man. KV-8 managed to get 5 kills. SU-85 needed on the front. Fortunately, KB did not make it. Oh, there it is. Bit the dust. MG charging. I wonder if it's kind of a distraction. I'm assuming it's a distraction. Because otherwise, yeah, that was a really stupid move. AT gun in position and opening fire. I'm assuming satchels are now going out. And once again, wow, okay, never mind. SU-85 just doing a charge. Oh, there we go. There's the satchels. Say goodbye to that Panther. Now the troops are mostly going to come over here and own that Panther. We do have a Stuka close air support bomb coming in. Another satchel going out, so that thing's going to be screwed. Stuka bomb coming in. Panther is now finished. It's on fire. Though it did, in its last valiant effort before it died, while, again, running at, like, just running off course, or traversing off course, it managed to kill the Su-85. So at least both sides really have no armor now. But we look at overall men. Inherently Better still has a larger fighting force, has a ton of manpower stored up, and will most likely, with that, will be able to control a lot of territory very quickly. Whereas Buffle, he doesn't have a ton of manpower and or fuel. It's going to take a while before he gets either. And without that, things are still down. He's also yet to get it mechanized. And the only another reason I bring that up is because the Stuka. He's been using these Stuka bombs, and they've been really effective with the rocket barrage, like hitting a certain area. But to be completely honest, I do think a normal Stuka would be really effective versus all those emplacements that he's placed. Now you could say Greyshot, that would most likely minus his Panther, and he wouldn't have gotten that. But I feel like that would probably be a more effective unit than just 2 Panthers, because at least that's specialized in killing the infantry that you're having a real hard time dealing with. I mean, sure, that attempt you did manage to kill 2 squads, I believe, but the guy is still advancing while your penal troops are over here. So he's doing something right, where he's constantly able to keep moving. Something. We'll see how long that keeps going for. Looks like on the right-hand side, we see the German player currently capturing some territory with the Sturmpionier squad, who's also now down to 4 Sturmpionier squads. Oh boy, just 4. Managing capturing the right-hand territory. Overall resources, command point-wise, resources is about even, but except for munitions, where, again, the German player has advantage. With overall the cap points via the stars, again, the German player is capturing it, and right now, he's kind of allowing it to kind of become more even with himself. So, oh, damn it, there goes the AT gun. Yep, there it is. And here come the penal forces, which, by the way, let me double check. 24, 19, and 21 kills, respectively. So what? He's gotten himself 64 kills? Not too shabby. Now, it looks like he's managing to push on up and capture territory. Not bad. Fire is now coming. Is that the first time he's... I swear that's the first time I've seen him use fire. So, good for him. At least he's dropping fire, try to push him off point. Fortunately, the fire is kind of still wildly inaccurate, but still do some if it's a direct hit. I feel like he thought they were over here, more so over here. Again, looks like the Panzer headquarters managed to stop a flank from occurring, and looks like on the right-hand side, Sturmpioneers are capturing some territory. So it looks like, oh wait, hold on. Now with middle taken and the far left, Inherent Better has more points, now putting pressure on the Axis player. Very interesting. Now, how will that continue to go? Let's see. You're getting more Sturmpioneers. You have a lot of munitions stored up, which is good. And unfortunately, it's not like you can place fuel munition points, which is something I think Inherently Better would probably benefit from if you placed one here. And here, maybe. Kind of just help hold the points and get additional munitions, kind of help out. But, and that could also, if you got more munitions, could also help drop off fuel. So, there's that. For the OKW player can't do that, of course, but, you know. Hold on, where's that Katusha hitting? Alright, straight line. Oh, he's trying to kill the support gun, which is in negative cover, but still somehow alive. I also see a ton of AT guns and MGs, so I like how he's like, you know what, my front infantry is doing great. You know what I need more of? just MGs, just to hold back those Sturm squads, and I don't blame him. At least do something a little bit different. Because right now the Peels are doing fine, but they aren't holding back. He needs to reposition this before the flamethrower unit pretty much got set with it. And now the flamethrower unit is going to burn him out of that said building. He could deploy some armor or something, but again, the S-55 is not great. And it's going to take a while before he gets anything else. Katusha could be very effective, but we just saw it fire. But yeah, right now, again, we can see it's just the penal troops moving in on mid, trying to capture that territory to kind of stop the deficit from, you know, going against him. Because right now, again, he's now losing points, and it's probably not going to go all that well if the Germans can keep holding it. Now, I don't think they will, because, again, I've seen so far all their plays, and the German player is fine. He's okay. He's just not doing anything mind-blowing. His Panthers keep dying, so he's not microing all that effectively. Something else is going on. Soviet player is having a little bit of issues microing, but at least he's keeping his vetted units up. So there's that. We have Sturmpionier squads moving on up. And now moving back. By the way, I love, hold on. 3 stars, 11 kills. Man, Sturmpioneers, you're doing fantastic. He can throw a concussive grenade, and that would actually help out with this unit. Actually, you can throw it right here and probably get both. Come on. Oh, don't lose the unit. Come on, it's a 3-star. Damn it. I want to see that concussive grenade in action. Once again, calls a Stuka bomb strike, and he sees the red smoke, so he was like, cool, I'm just going to move out of the way. See you later. Really not much to talk about. Though Sturmpioneer is at least coming onto the ice to hit the mortar crew. That's something. I also love how he has a flamethrower and he's using it on the ice. To me, if Relic does ice in COH3, which most likely from the 2 or 3 different campaigns they've speculated over, they're not going to do that. But that being said, it would be interesting to see a flamethrower that burned away ice, kind of melted it, because again, it's a flamethrower. For some reason, I feel like a hot flame over ice is going to do something to it, hypothetically speaking. I could be just going on a long shot, but I don't know. I feel like hot meaning cold is not good for ice. Meanwhile, we have an MG over here. Actually, 2 MGs. If he had a Panzer Grenadier squad or something and he threw an explosive grenade in there, it probably wouldn't last. That building is not really designed for taking a lot of hits and can very easily fall apart. Penal squad's also holding the point, and now once again they're putting more pressure on the Axis player. Axis player is going to probably come back with something. I'm very curious to see what it is though. They are just capturing mid. Panther's still on standby. I'm still waiting for that mechanized building. And yes, I'll keep calling it out because right now, instead of a Panther, he could have gone a King, and that probably would have knocked out a few more squads and helped out at mid a little bit more. Katusha opening fire, managing to push them back at least from mid, which is a good thing. Again, that pushes back the Sturmpioneer squads, and with them falling back, at least it means that they'll be okay for the time being until the German player's like, psych, I'm going to go up on top and try to decap that territory until he can't. And he's forced to retreat. Good for him. Okay, so maybe that MG in that building wasn't such a bad idea. Though I do find it funny there was a Maxim in this building and there's literally another fresh one out back. The Sturmpioneers have this point. Again, more Sturmpioneers over there. And we'll see how things go. Again, right now the larger army goes to the Soviet player, but we can see right now he used a lot of that excess manpower and fuel to kind of get that leg up. So that could cost him if he actually loses that, because Bufflewood has a lot more fuel. So if he loses an armored unit, it's not too far of a stretch to say he could easily get a new one. Where in better, he's been so few on resources, I don't think he's in the same situation. I feel it's going to be a lot harder. Also, I love how he's trying to deploy the goddamn KV-8, but it's just not working. Because, again, that thing is 14. His overall pop cap is 90. So he's probably going to wait for his squad, to, like, a couple guys to start losing men. Whether it's the penal squads or the mortars. Something will lose a couple men. He'll get down to 86 and he'll just automatically deploy. Question is, can he hold back and beat that penal squad? Not penal squad. Sturmpioneer squad. And it looks like, yes, the penal squad were able to do it. 31 kills, by the way. Very nice. Man, this guy just staying there instead of capturing the point. I see where your duties lie. It's like, hey, you want to capture this point because it could help us? Nah, I'll stay over here and just watch. God damn it. In any case, of additional squads of Sturmpioneers moving in with flamethrowers, very effective. Mortar getting a nice hit on there. Now Vet 2. With a total of 3 kills, it's Vet 2. Man, he's awesome. Katusha about to be able to fire in the next 5 seconds. I see a beautiful shot right here. Close range and ready to be hit. Come on, Katusha. Do it. Do it. Oh, too late. That Sturmpioneer squad, like the luckiest Sturmpioneer squad ever. I almost said hunkiest. I'm like, God damn it. I am tired. And I'm a loss for words. Or I'm just, you know, totally normal. Because I'm typically at a loss for words with most things. Just watch my videos and you'll see. KV8 Fleetdoor moving on in. Once that should push back these guys. The Panther is the question, though. I think he's just been sitting there. And I know we got another one. But he should probably move that thing up, try to hold them back. But we'll see how it goes. Katusha now up to 2 stars. So good job on that thing. Panther getting some nice shots in, but kind of needs to move in to finish the job. Otherwise, it's kind of just a mere skirmish. No, good thing he didn't because AT guns are on standby. And again, I feel like the Jack of all trades route is kind of working because the Sturmpioneers are not doing that great anymore. It's just, I know they were doing it better originally, but he needs more varied roles to kind of push back the Soviet player. Like, get a Stuka, get an infrared half track, get something but goddamn Sturmpioneers. Because right now you have 7 of these suckers, and I feel like you aren't doing much better than you were in the beginning. Sure, you could say, well, Greyshot, he has both points. Well, yeah, he does temporarily, but I want to know how long it's going to take for the Soviet player to just walk on in. Wow, okay. And that's also a kind of a failure. You have a Panzer headquarters building that is very close to dying. And you have 7... I'm sorry. Yep, you have 7 Sturmpioneer squads, and you can't send one of them to go heal it? Kind of weird. Meanwhile, large Soviet push, backed by KV-8 and AT guns in general, hoping to capture this territory. I think he should have a squad go to mid, because right now he's losing way too many points for no reason. It's like actually another experience would be Overwatch, where I was playing a game, and it was the castle map. I forget the name of the castle, but essentially we were playing the payload map, and payload, and essentially you get on this cart and you have to get to a specific objective before the next part of the map opens. Attacking team is pushing the cart, the defending team is trying to stop them, clear them from the cart so they don't get it. Well, that's a thing which I find incredibly hilarious, is because while my entire team's fighting, I'm noticing the cart leaving. I'm like, wait a second, why is it moving? There was a tracer just hiding around it, and every time we look around the corner, she would blink away so you couldn't find her. Again, very smart tracer for the most part, except she did get her butt whooped later on. Anyway, but again, it was something like that where she pushed it all the way to the end of the second part before we realized, like, wait a second, there's someone there? Oh boy, we've made a critical mistake. we have done fucked up. Meanwhile, we have a big push going on, but we're lost Soviet. Also, artillery could be good. Okay, you are calling artillery. Now you need to move for Stuka bombs to come in and start wrecking you. Sturmpioneer squad about to lose. Yep, everything. Sturmpioneer squad moving in, but there's just way too many units for it to be all that effective. Like I said, I feel like an MG or something would be very helpful, but he's just not getting anything. He did rename the Sturmpioneer, the infantry support gun. So, there's that. Panther unfortunately lost its main gun somehow. Sure, why not? Most likely from these guys, I would have to say. So we got 36 kills now. We got 20, so 56. And I'm going to make the assumption that's like 25. So, yeah, you just do that in your head, and that's a lot of freaking kills for just 3 random penal squads. Meanwhile, again, capturing that point while at least put the pressure back on the Axis player. Slowly push him down. Axis player, once again, not healing the base would be kind of effective. I know he started healing it, but also having one-man squad try to heal that Panther, not a good idea. How about this? Instead, Instead, just go to here, go back to base, get 3 additional men, and come back. Might be a little faster, just a little bit. Artillery now coming in on the Sturmpionier squad. Yeah, getting a couple nice hits overall. Gonna fast forward slightly because I realize I'm at the hour mark and it's really just kind of a slow push back and forth. I'm kind of waiting for the big engagement. Right now I will say that nice job, because while the Sylvie player is disconnected, they don't have this point, so it's not. Also, SU-85 just hanging out. I wonder if he knows it's there and he's just waiting for a good time to push. I would kind of just push in, try to grab it. Maybe he's worried about the Sturmpioneers coming in with a Panzer Strike, which is right now totally reasonable because, again, we have the kind of 4 squads moving in, and at least one of them has a Panzer Strike. But I feel like they're more inclined to attack up here during the hill that they have, more so anywhere else. Also, this squad is not going to do much. It's so close to dying. His best chance would be just throwing a satchel, which he does, and then hightailing it out of there. Nice kills, actually. And the MG is barely able to hold the line. So, very nice. Oh my god, that Volk squad's like, finally, I've been picked. I'm chosen. And it's like, no. Apparently, he just got sick and bored of Sturmpioneers because he got so many and they kept dying. Meanwhile, we have that guy, like, I love it. He's like, well, fine, you took over the other star. I'll just take over your star because you don't have enough men. I mean, to be fair, he has more assault groups, but to be fair, he needs more men just to take small pieces of territory. If you have been noticing, the Sturmpioneer guy's been attacking with 2 or 3, like, groups or squads in a group just to push. Suga Bomb came in, didn't really do all that much, and right now it's going down to the wire. Again, Buffalo has a huge army. It's just he's just not been able to push as effectively as he wants to. It's taking more and more men just to get to the end means. And yeah, sure, he can eventually sometimes go around with a single squad and gain a lot of territory or something, but kind of majority of the time it's just not going that well. Again, I don't know why he got Volk squad. I'm just assuming additional infantry. Panzerfaust would be great right now, and he has more than enough munitions for it. Katusha coming in just wrecking a lot of, oh my god, he had just lost 2 squads of Sturmpioneers. One of their flamethrower tanks blew up, and the Volk squad he just lost. Double AT opening fire on the Panther and the Panzer headquarters, kind of important. Come on, focus fire on this, you can do it, or you just pull back. KV-8 being healed, we have another KV-8 as well being deployed on the far right, I guess, guarding that point. Not a bad idea. I mean, hey, it's like Germans come up and like, hey, this is easy point to capture, and all they see is a KV-8 and a flamethrower shooting. I'm like, fuck no, and they just hightail it out of there. Meanwhile, it's still pretty damn close. Germans are down and right now need to capture territory, but right now with that penal squad there being 3 stars, by the way, 3 goddamn stars, 34, 37, and 38. So if you can't do the math right there, I mean, first off, that's just a fuck ton of kills, just to point out there. But that's 72, and then you add in that, and yeah, that's close. That's close to 110 kills. And he's probably at 110 by now, I assume. No, he's close. Very close. And right now looks like playback. So yeah, he quit. I hate that. What? I never get that. I never get that. Why you just quit? It's like in PUBG you don't get resources if if you just quit, or like this game, or in other games like Overwatch. Where Overwatch, especially in ranked play, you're just like heavily deterred from doing it. So yeah, stuff like that. But yeah, it's so strange. It's so strange. He kept going Panthers, and I don't know. There's so much more you could have picked with this, and I feel like a lot of that stuff was behind mechanized, which kind of a shame he didn't go for it. Panzer headquarters as well. That King Tiger would have been great. I feel. I know he has a lot of penal troops, but I feel like King Tiger would have been good. Focusing on killing these squads would have also been helpful. Double check damage. Soviet player very close to a positive KD and 68,000 damage. Nothing to sneeze at. Best player was the penal battalion, which 109 kills, 33.5 damage. That's pretty damn incredible. Meanwhile, Buffalo, I wonder what his MVP is. Oh, look, it's the Panther. Good for you. 53 kills. A lot of it's infantry. but he lost 5 of them. Before you say, well, Greyshot, there you go, he got 53 kills. Yeah, but he lost 5 of the suckers. He also lost 50. Oh my god. You lost 15 Sturmpionier squads? So just take that in comparison to the Soviet player who lost 12 Maxims. Oh, okay, so he remanned quite a few. He produced 9, he remanned it. But that's insane. He never lost a penal squad. His frontline troops stayed alive the entire time. And I feel like that's what really did help with survivability as well. But yeah, it's like, I don't know. I feel like you went Sturmpioneer spam and it worked for a period of time until the the Allied player was like, okay, I'm used to this now. I can counter it. And he got MG, support weapons, stuff like that to counter, and it worked. He got more armor somehow than Buffalo, who had the fuel majority of the time, and it worked. Again, it's not like he didn't take casualties. There was times where I'm like, Better's probably going to lose right now. But he still managed to pull through, and for that, congratulations. But in any case, guys, that's Game 1. Thank you for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure you guys like and subscribe. This has been Greyshot17, and I'll see you all next time. Before this video ends, I want to give a special shout out to my Patreon supporters like Ace, Leo, Tim, Sean, Sejones, and Nick. Thank you guys so much for your awesome support, and I'll see you next time, guys.